We're live.
Good morning. Here we are at the Hampton B. Allen Library today doing another remote program. And we are so delighted to have the Writers Club people with us today. We have Sandy Rooney and we have Kay Ratliff, and it's Caroline and myself, and Caroline Hightower and myself. And we have Talia, who is also with us. And we're looking forward to our listening and hearing about the winning entries. But we want to start off with some information about the Writers Club, the history of it, and how the winners are selected and that sort of thing. So we're going to first we're going to look at is it Sandy you're going to speak first?
Oh, I guess so.
Okay.
Well, we started in 1989 with just a few writers. We put out an ad in the newspaper if anybody was interested in starting a support group, because writing, as they say, is a lonely profession. And it does help to touch base with other writers. And I was very surprised at the response that we got. And so we started off on a good foot. And we decided that year that we were going to hold an annual contest. And we've been holding them since 1989.
Wonderful.
Other things we've done, you might remember Sneedsboro, A Ripple on the River, that we did at the Helen Goodman Amphitheater at SPCC for 10 years. We've had many speakers and programs. Back Porch Stories is very popular that we sponsored, storytelling event. And I'm hoping that now that COVID is kind of eased off, we might be able to start that up again.
Good morning. Here we are at the Hampton B. Allen Library today.
I apologize, y'all. I was trying to make it go public and it started playing. Continue.
Well, that's about it. We've tried to not only make awareness of the writers in the community, because there's a lot of them that you probably don't even know about. And this is a way to get them out into the public, give them a little support, a little recognition. And we just do a lot of different things. We're not just sitting around talking about writing, we're writing and encouraging other writers. So, and I'll let Kay talk about the contest.
Okay. So this is the 11th edition of Anson Pathways. Every year we hold a contest. Every 3 years we publish Anson Pathways, which is a collection of the winners for the prior 3 years. We have always had wonderful entries into our contest. It begins in September and ends the first Monday in December, whatever that is. And then generally we have other writers clubs or university professors or retired teachers to judge the entries. And this is done anonymously. Every entrant sends in 2 copies of their work, one that identifies themselves and one that does not identify themselves. And that's the copy that goes to the judges. The judges then decide on a first, second, and third place winner. And if it's been a really difficult time deciding, then often they'll do honorable mention for another worthy entry. This year we had one such entry. Then in normal times, we hold a reception in February to honor the winners, and every 3rd year to put out the pathways. Last year we were unable, because of COVID, we were unable to have such a reception. This year, however, we were able to have a reception, and we held that at the Presbyterian Church Fellowship Hall instead of the library, because the library is still not open for that kind of event, understandably. And this year we did not serve refreshments. Instead, we packed goodie bags for all the winners, and I'm sure those were well received too. Anything else I need to say about the contest, Sandy? think
Well,
I've
we do
covered-
have cash prizes. I mean, you get a
Yes, yes,
certificate, with your name on it and everything, but you do get, we do give money.
yeah,
So-
yeah. Pretty nice. The first place winners get a pretty nice
Pretty nice.
amount of money.
Yeah.
But every winner gets some amount of money, including children. We have 4 divisions. We have youth, grades 3 to 5, in prose and in poetry. We have youth, grades 6 through 8 in prose and poetry. We have youth, grades 9 through 12 in prose and poetry. And we have adults. So this year we had winners in the youth 3 to 5 category. We did not have any entries in the grade 6 to 8 category, which was a sort of disappointment. And then we had winners in the high school group and in the adult group. I have to say that in the youth 3 to 5 group, every winner was from Ansonville Elementary School and had been a student, is or has been a student of Tracy Presley. Tracy has always promoted writing in her class.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So this year we gave Tracy some special recognition too. So
Well, Kay, would you like to talk about since we mentioned the children winners, the
right.
poetry winners for the children division?
Right. The poetry winners for the children's division were Olivia Gerald, Olivia Gerald, for the poem Tourette's Awareness. She was the first place winner. Beautiful little poem. I have Tourette's, but Tourette's doesn't have me. This is who I am. I'm an artist. I'm a soccer player. I'm an author. I'm a big sister. Tourette's doesn't have me. Yes, I move, I squeak, I jump, and I twitch, but Tourette's doesn't have me. I'm hardworking, I'm creative, I'm compassionate, I'm unique, I'm me. I don't want it to go away. I just want to be able to control it. I thought that was a very brave little poem from a very brave little girl. Her sister, her younger sister, won the second place in poetry. Andy Gerald, for My Dog Bella. My dog Bella is the apple of my eye. She is very cuddly and as sweet as pie. But if she sees a stranger, she nips at their feet. But to me, she's the nicest dog you'll ever meet. She likes kids and she really loves to play. Sit, paw, and up. She can follow commands, I say. She will follow me around everywhere I go. Bella also loves Benny, who is her kitty bro. She loves to take car rides when we leave from home. She listens very well from our yard. She will not roam. She is a pit bull, bluish black, with a spot on her head. When she gets tired, she'll go lay down in her bed. Some people get nervous because they think pits are mean. My Bella isn't mean at all. She's a special queen. I love her dearly. In my heart, she holds a special place. She shows love for us too by licking us in the face. I am so impressed by the rhyme scheming and the length of the lines and the rhyme scheming for these second and third place winners. Third place was Connor Hildreth for My Love of Four-Wheelers. Riding, bumping, muddy mess, four-wheeler riding is the best. I even like to smell the gas and I like to go really fast. The faster I fly, the higher the mud goes and the sand and dust flies up my nose. I hit the mud and it goes everywhere. I speed up, hit a jump and go into the air. When I jump into the air, I soar really high. For a minute, I'm a very scared guy. I come back down and land on four wheels. I go around the trail to jump more hills. I love spending time riding all around. Hearing a four-wheeler roar is a great sound. If you ask me what my favorite thing is to do, it's four-wheeler riding. You should try it too. Yeah, just a great rhyme scheme for somebody that's grade 3 to 5. I'm just really impressed. So in the adult category, we had, in the high school category, we had one winner in poetry. Hillary Lynn Gahn, another just beautiful, poignant poem. Our ribbons of life. Sometimes life seems so fragile, like a bow, so beautiful, so elegant, and yet so delicate. Like its ribbons made from pieces of satin and scraps of silk. A balance only kept in place by the bow of ribbons, which appears so flimsy, as if all it would take is a single pull upon the ribbons for everything to come fluttering down around us. Because it is well known that if your bow is weathered, torn, and thready, then you must simply repair the holes so that we may continue our journey. Then your thoughts flitter to those with nothing, no silks, no satins. They must ignore the weathering, tearing, and threading until they can't anymore because they themselves are coming undone. But once your bow begins to loosen, begins to weaken, it begins to wilt from age, your time has started to run out. Because you can't outlast, ignore, or patch the tangled remains that once were your bow of life.
It's great.
Mhm.
Now we'll go on to the adult winners in poetry, and those the first and second place winners are here. So Talia Becker, you won first place for type 1.
Okay, I'm honored to be here to read it and share this with you. It's called Type 1. As I watch you sleep, I study every bruise. Every mark I've left this week glares at me, all in different shades, a timeline of sorts. I'm sorry, I whisper in your ear as you lay peaceful, unaware of me. I'm so sorry. But still, I can't stop. I feel your body wince under my grasp. It makes my heart freeze from pain, but it hurts more if you don't, that you can accept this life. Is it all you can remember now? How long will this continue, a slave to highs and lows? I grow weary in my bones. Then I think of you. Could you do this forever? Will exhaustion overtake you? My willful warrior, I stroke your head wistfully, not forever, just until we have a cure.
Beautiful.
Talia, what is the story behind that poem?
So my daughter is 6 years old. She was diagnosed at 2 years old with type 1 diabetes. And as part of her care and treatment, I have to check her blood sugar multiple times a day and give her insulin. And so she is just riddled with pinpricks all over her body. And it's very painful. And I was reflecting on how it really almost feels like I'm an abuser in a sense. And this poem just came through me, and it was very cathartic to put it to paper.
Yeah,
All right.
that's beautiful.
It
Thank you.
really is beautiful. Sandy, you had the second place winner for the Minstrel.
Well, I can tell you the backstory of this. My son was a musician and he passed away last August, alcohol related. And our family comes from minstrels back in England years and years ago. So I named this the Minstrel. Those ancient minstrels' blood ran in his veins, men who strode through England's misty hills, bringing news to castle and to farm, strumming lute or lyre according to their skills, livelihood dependent on ability to charm. Their songs were all forgot till by his fingers caught and brought to life anew in modern strains. He taught himself in incremental gains, ever seeking that elusive note or rhyme. His parents told him he must settle down, stop frittering away his time, give up the songs for cap and gown. Their songs were not forgot, still by his fingers caught and brought to life anew in modern strains. Alas, we did not see or note his pain, his guitar silent, his fingers stilled. His work takes up his time, we said. His time with family now filled. We did not know his muse had fled. Will his songs be all forgot, once by his fingers caught, no longer brought to life in modern strains? We mourned his loss, our tears in vain. The minstrel we loved so well is gone. But as grief crept in our hearts, we found some solace, for his legacy lives on. The rhymes, tunes, words still resound. No, his songs won't be forgot, for by his fingers caught, those minstrels lived in him in modern strains.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful poem for a beautiful young man.
He was.
The third place winner was Among Friends by Mario Kersey. Mario is the son of Elizabeth Kersey from Anson County and grew up here, of course. He teaches, he would be with us today were he not teaching students in literature in Raleigh, North Carolina. Among Friends. Her thoughts are diaphanous old webbing, cluttered with bits of yesteryear glittering like the morning's dew. Cogitation slow with each palpitation, when in proximity to any family photographs. The old memories made visible but pristine, new today. She sits among a copse of pines, merely swaying in the breeze as if among friends, whispering about days from another autumn, smiling at a joke too soon forgotten.
Lovely.
There was another beautiful poem, and with all the entries in poetry and adult were so good. I'm sure the judge had a difficult time. Did give honorable mention to this last poem by Abigail Ghana, who was also a few years ago one of the winners in prose in the children's or youth section. We've had that happen several times where somebody wins as a youth and then wins again as an adult. And that says a lot for their development as a writer. A summer's dream, a winter's memory by Abigail Ghana. When I dream, I see you floating there filled with glee and gaiety. I wonder what pleases you so, yet when I go to ask, you leave despite my waiting. It's been years since I last dreamt of your smiling face, looking at me across the clearing. Yet I cannot seem to forget how you caused such regret in all the priests of the county. You stood there, 'tis true, or 10 years since you smiled at me last. It was quiet, but for the flames and sobs, and still you smiled to your last. I was there till it died and brought you home at the end. When I dream and see you again, floating there, filled again with glee and gaiety, this time I'll join you as I haven't in the past, and we'll leave together as the morning sun breaks. This song is kind of reminiscent of something Yeats might have written, I think.
And I think if you point out that when she says the morning sun breaks, it's spelled MOURNING, not morning.
Morning.
Yeah, morning. So
Right. The morning sun.
Yes.
Yeah, and the line, how you cause such regret in all the priests of the county. I think that's what really sounded like Yeats to me, because Yeats wrote a lot about Crazy Jane and the bishop. So, right. We'll move on to prose now, and find my place back in the book. I'll briefly touch on the youth winners on the 3 to 5 category. Alexander's Adventure by Isabella Maria Zamora Sangana. Once upon a time, more than 10,000 years ago, there was a little boy named Alexander. Alexander was like any little boy. He had chores and had a bunch of friends. One day on Alexander's birthday, his mom gave him a big wrap present. Your great-grandfather wanted me to give this to you on your 11th birthday, Alexander's mom said. Well, Alexander said, what is it? As Alexander opened his gift, he heard someone scream. Alexander looked behind him and his mother was gone. Alexander panicked, so he took the gift and ran to his room. Now you might be asking, hey, where's Alexander's dad? Well, his dad left Alexander and his mom when Alexander was 3. Alexander finished opening his gift and was surprised by what was inside. There was a helmet and a sword, but not just any sword. It was a magical sword, and there was a chest plate. There was a note that said, Dear Alexander, I have been predicting that this would happen, so this is a gift for you to rescue your mom. P.S. Bring a friend or two with you. And the poem goes, the story goes on from that.
Mhm. Time travel.
Yeah, time travel.
Okay.
That was your first place winner and the only winner in youth prose. And then in adolescent prose, we had Beautiful Tragedies by Jaden Kittrell Lindsay. Is she done yet? Killian's voice echoed through the dark operating room. Almost, but she has so many defaults that I don't know if she's going to turn out okay. Adonis was just finishing up, but he knew that what he had just made wasn't something to be fully proud of. She better be perfect or else. Killian was cut off by his maker. Or else what? You can't do anything to me because I made you. Killian knew he was right and that he himself needed to understand where he stood. As the two finished up, all they had to do now was wait and wait and wait. Soon enough, their new prodigy finally started to awake. Her hands moved ever so slightly and her breathing became shallow. Come on, Killian would whisper under his breath every now and then as he rocked back and forth on his feet. After taking 4 long hours to awaken, the two didn't want to wait anymore. The last hour of daylight had struck when their creation decided to open her eyes. Her eyes. The two gasped and looked shocked. Wow, Adonis mumbled. Her eyes, Killian said in awe. What should we name her? And after so long of staring at the creation, he finally came up with an answer. Silver. That's her name. And from then on, they knew that instead of creating the worst thing, they may have lucked up and created the best. So that story goes on also. Another sci-fi kind of story.
Well, I definitely want to get the Pathways book and finish those stories now that I've heard the little
They wonderful.
tidbit.
Another good story was written by Sandy Bruni, who won first place in adult prose. How Maud Kittrick maybe saved the planet. Sandy?
Okay. At first, Maud Kittrick thought it was one of those smart cars, but when the door opened from the roof, she wasn't so sure. The door, or hatch, wasn't open but a second when a little man crawled out and hopped to the ground. The odds of visitors on top of her mountain were about as high as winning the Powerball. The odds of her visitor being a midget, Maud stopped and shook her head. No, a little person. She'd learned that much from her TV. She approached the man cautiously, her right hand in her jacket pocket. He didn't look dangerous. He was dressed in a sparkly jumpsuit like Liberace. His eyes, nose, and mouth were small on his pale face, like raisins set in dough. His fine brows and hair were light brown. Maud spoke first. Do you need directions or something? He let his gaze sweep over her from head to foot. It didn't bother her. She knew what she looked like. Short white hair flying in the breeze, her face wrinkled as a prune, wearing a long skirt, stop brogans, and a man's hunting jacket that hung nearly to her knees. He scowled. I do not, but you are not supposed to be here. Aerial surveillance showed no humans in this area. Well, that may be, but I've lived here all my life, 85 years to be exact. Maybe the trees hid my cabin. He didn't answer her question. I'm unintelligible, from the planet unintelligible, he said. I come from the mothership in my pod. He indicated his vehicle with a quick nod. Maud had caught only the first syllable of his name. Hello, Ed. I'm Maud. Stop there.
That's good.
That is good. Another one I want to finish reading.
Yeah, you would really like.
Uh,
So the second place winner and only other winner that we have today was a postcard from Fenda by Charles Castor. Sandy, if you want to read that.
I sure will. This is a flash fiction, so it's short. Postcard from Fenda. I knew the Rifles magazine was loaded with 4 rounds of Nitro Express in high caliber. It rested unobtrusively in the zippered case lashed to the hood of the Land Cruiser. I estimated that it would take our guide about 12 seconds to cover the distance from where he stood, unzip the case, chamber around, acquire the target, and squeeze off a shot, unless his hands were shaking too much. We had headed out in safari at first light on a chilly winter morning, and within an hour discovered the carcass of a wildebeest that had been killed and mostly devoured during the night. Everyone exited the cruiser to get a closer look. Everyone except Shippo, our tracker, and me. He continued to search the gently waving grass with his high-powered binoculars, and when he turned, he saw that I was glassing the opposite direction with my low-powered compacts. What you look for? Demanded Shippo, confused that I was not down with the others. I look for lion, I replied. Lion? Repeated Shippo, then a knowing smile formed on his face. Me too. We both knew that the lion could be on his way back, perhaps with other members of his pride, to finish the meal. We did not want any of our people to be a second course. The muted colors of the winter foliage provide camouflage. The undulating grass masks movement. Knowing this does not cause fear, just the realization that in Fenda, we are no longer the apex predator.
Interesting.
That's the whole story. He wrote that after going on a safari in South Africa when he was visiting his daughter. So that's his experience. Yeah.
Charles always writes from experiences that
He
he's
does.
had and
Yes, he
writes
does.
really well.
Yeah.
So that concludes our winning entries for this year. Again, the book is Anson Pathways 11.
Mhm.
How can people get the book if they're interested?
It
Sandy,
is on Amazon. If they want to go to Amazon, they can order it, or I will be taking some copies down to the Arts Council and they can get them there, purchase them there.
Okay.
We'll mail them if they want to write to the Post Office Box 363, Waitsboro. We will mail them a copy, but they'll have to pay postage. So
That's good. And are you all meeting on a regular basis again now, Sandy? So if any of our patrons or our people who are viewing today can, when are the meetings if they're interested in becoming a member of the Writers Club?
okay, we meet on the 4th Sunday at 3 o'clock of every month, except July and December, at the Fellowship Hall in the First Presbyterian Church. And anyone is welcome to come. We would love to have new members.
Right.
And you don't have to be a writer. You might just be interested in the writing process. You might be interested in listening to what we're writing, or just.
Yes, and we have had patrons who come in, people who are new to the county or whatever, that are interested in writing, and they love to be a part of a group. So I think you guys are doing an awesome job, and I think it's wonderful that the books are being published as they are, and I hope that you guys will share one with us as well, because we're happy to have the ones that we have on hand, and it's you, like I say, you're doing a great job, and thank you. And thank you for being with us today. We appreciate it so much. And
Well, thank you for having us.
yeah, we like getting the word out, that what you're doing. And I'm sorry Charles couldn't be with us today, but he is an excellent writer. And I remember his book, The Canoeist. But anyway, again, thank you for being with us today and sharing these winning entries.
And thank you, Talia. I see you're having to head on somewhere else.
Tell you, we would welcome you on the, at 3 o'clock on the fourth Sunday, anytime you
Yeah,
want to join us.
we have
Breaking up just a little bit. We can see
Yeah.
you, but we can't really hear
Right.
all that you're saying. But this has been wonderful, and I can't wait to get a copy and have a chance to read it myself. And
There's some really good stories in there. So.
well, we
Yeah.
have
Great work.
phenomenal talent here in Anson County.
Yes, we
So
do. We certainly
I'm
do.
glad that you're highlighting it.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, there you are. We see you. Well, I don't think we had any questions. It's a little hard. It doesn't always update immediately, but if y'all will check our Facebook page, and if you see a question that you can answer or on the video that's been shared, feel free to answer it for the library. And does anybody have anything else to add? Okay, well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.